Hathor is a really strong DPS character that can also be played as a sub-DPS, but only if you understand her kit and build her correctly. So let's go over her kit first. For her basic attack, rapid delivery, there isn't really much to say to be honest. One thing though, her holding attack might come handy on exploration since it will launch you in the air. In combat, it is pretty okay and I think you can do it sometimes or if you don't do it against the boss, but keep in mind this damage will scale off your fall height, so if you can get high in the sky, your damage will be higher. For her skill, Aerial Command. If you press her skill, you will gain 2 stacks of express delivery power, but you will want to hold her skill. Why? Because if you hold her skill, it will charge up to 5 seconds during which she constantly deals AoE Lakshana damage. While the skill range gradually expands, you will also inflict enemies with 5-star tracking effect that will last for 5 seconds. Holding the skill would also grants 3 stacks of express delivery power when you or an ally gets hit during this time. On her ultimate, Rider's Express, she enters emergency delivery state and stops getting her feathers or her express delivery power stacks. While in this state, your skill will be upgraded to Cyclone Strikes, increasing movement speed and grants an attack bonus based on express delivery power, so based on her flower stacks. A thing you should keep in mind, if you switch to a different character while being in this state, it will immediately end the emergency delivery state, so make sure to set her up correctly. A thing that is unique to her is that she has a character trait. There are some other characters that have those character traits, and Hathor is one of them. And her unique trait is Excellent Rating Lock. She will trigger that effect when enemies remain nearby for more than 5 seconds. It lasts 5 seconds, and if a target is under this status and attacks your team, it will be removed and Hathor gains 1 stack of express delivery power up to 6 stacks. For her support skill, she will deal 2 instances of Lakshana damage. Her first passive, Delay Warning, is her Remora enhancement, extends the target Remora duration to 12 seconds and increases crit rate by 10% when attacking a target affected by Remora. Her second passive, Efficiency Boost, grants her 1 stack of express delivery power after defeating a target. Now for her rotation, make sure you press E when you do her skill, and the moment you see all her feathers maxed out, you can go into her ultimate, and then you're just gonna press E as much as you can. Press E, and then you do all your feathers, and then you will do a lot of damage. Of course, that is only for her. Now with the Esper cycles included, what you want to do before doing her rotation with holding E, ulting and stuff like that is to actually get Renoma and the Stain Esper cycle, since it's gonna boost her crit damage but also her Lakshana damage. So what you want to do is, let's say you play the main character, you're gonna go into 0, right? You could technically do nothing on her, maybe ult, right? Then you're gonna go into her again. Then you go into Haniel, you ult and press E. Then you go into her again. Hold E since you want to get the feathers, but also deal good amount of damage. He didn't attack, so that was a bit unlucky. But normally he would attack, and then you get more feathers, and then you're gonna ult and deal a lot of damage. Just make sure when you swap into the main character that you not use her skill, because if you use her skill, you can trigger another Renoma Esper cycle, and that will be really strong. So let's go over Hathor's build. Let's start with her weapon. You really want to play Raging Flames, and that is the only option you really have, because you will get it for free if you fight the Headless Rider, I think is his name. So it's a free weapon and also is her signature weapon. It's pretty straightforward, right? Increase Lakshana damage by a certain amount, and then increase the wearer's redirect skill and ultimate damage by 20%. And you want to use her redirect skill in her ultimate, so that is just an increased damage, and increase the wearer's redirect skill damage by 9% per cast while active, up to 2 stacks. It is just a really good weapon for her, so make sure you grab it by killing the Headless Rider. For her set and modules, you want to play the Lakshana set because it is a Lakshana DPS character, and also it will increase her crit chance by 40%. And if the team triggering Remora or Stain, increase the bonus to 14% for 20 seconds. So a 28% crit rate buff that is really important when it comes to actually getting the main and sub stats. There is another option you could technically play, and that is the Psyche set. This set could also be playable or usable if you can have a good Nova/Stain uptime, because it will increase the wearer's damage by 18% and the bonus becomes 36% against units affected by Nova or Stain. You don't really run this set, so you usually just want to go with the Lakshana set, but maybe if you got a really insane Psyche set, it might be better than your worst Lakshana set. I just wanted to include in this video because maybe someone has a build Psyche character. For the main set though, you want to get Lakshana damage bonus. Just like every other DPS character in the game, elemental damage seems the best as of right now. Let's say you got an insane crit damage one, I think you can still use the crit damage one, but the Lakshana one is the best in terms of damage. But if you don't have a good piece, just go with the best you have right now. Now let's go over her modules. This is the best placement because you will get the Lakshana full set bonus, but also maximize the type 3 modules you have to get the attack 10% for each type 3 module. And for the substat, you really want to focus on crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and damage percentage. Ideally, you want to get a bit more crit damage because with her set, you already get a 28%. So try to get around 30 crit rate-ish, because then with the set correctly played, you will have 85%, and that should be pretty good. And that is for her modules. Her dupes, honestly, she doesn't need them, but if you have 1 or 2 dupes, there are some really good ones, like the crit damage one or the damage increased on non-boss targets, or the crit chance one. So she does has pretty good dupes, but she do not need any of them to really get good damage out. Now for her skill upgrade priority, you want to focus on her ultimate, then her skill, then I think get the passives, for sure her Remora enhancement, then her second one is maybe skippable if you only use her on boss enemies, but overall you do want to get it, and then basic attack and support skill, but her damage is really limited on her ultimate and her skill, so once out of her ultimate, her damage really does fall a bit off. Now let's go over team building. For team building, the only thing you really want to focus on is Remora and Stain. Stain, you will get in Lakshana damage taken on targets by 20% for 12 seconds, so you really want to play one Psyche character. Who could this be? It could be Haniel, but also Fadia. I think both are good options depending on what you really need. Haniel is the attack buffing option and Fadia more of a healing option. Now for Remora, you really need to have this one. Since Hathor is not out yet, I think the main character or even Shiz as a second DPS is really a good option, since her damage is really focused on ultimate, just as I said. So having someone like Shiz to have a better downtime of her ultimate is a really good option. And yeah, but honestly, her 4th slot in this team could be anything, but I think another Cosmo character would really help on the Remora uptime and also with the DPS of the team in general. Yeah, that's it with my Hathor guide. Let me know in the comments on what character you want to see next. I think it's probably going to be Shiz. And then thanks a lot for watching, take care, and see you guys in the next one.